This is Plan B with Sarina Bellissimo.
Spin 103.8.
Can you believe it is 8 years since Matt Cardle beat One Direction to take out the X Factor crown? Since then, so much has happened for Matt. There's been a lot of highs, some lows, and he's channeled all of that into his fourth album, Time to Be Alive. I'm thrilled to say Matt is on the line now. Matt, welcome to Plan B.
Oh, Sarina, thank you for having me.
Matt, album number 4. How does it feel to actually be releasing an album that I know all your other albums you were proud of, but this is something that is really personal and quite close to home?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what, Sarina? It's to have the opportunity to have made this album is, and I mean, it sounds grandiose, but it's honestly all I could have ever wanted. You know, I mean, yes, I went through the darkest places in my life to date to get there, but I think I'm kind of glad that I found that, you know, side of me to put into this album, because before, I mean, winning the show it kind of obscures your look on everything, and it's very difficult to find something real and true and honest to write about when your life is being turned inside out and upside down. It's quite weird. So I was kind of drawing on things that had happened to me previously, but with going through what I went through, I think, you know, Time to Be Alive has got the weight and the depth and the you know, the amount of me that I could ever want in an album, if you know.
You mentioned the X Factor.
Yeah.
It all seems so glamorous and stuff, and you were really in the early few seasons, right? So now we know what the reality of it is. What is it like being in amongst all of that? I mean, you beat One Direction, you went on to release an album, but then they dropped you. I mean, the album did really well, Matt.
It did. You know, that was a platinum album. You know, it's for any artist to sign to a label and sell over 300,000 copies of their album and you know, and sell out the tour is absolutely golden. And you know, you'd wonder why that wasn't enough. You know, there were lots of things going on at the label at the time. In various departments, you know, it was there was a priority as well for them, which was One Direction, you know, and I understood that. My manager at the time understood that they had their eggs in other baskets, which is totally fine. It was a business decision, and I probably would have made the same one if I was Simon. Yeah. But then that made me have to change tack and then decide, you know, I'm going to do a couple of independent albums, and you know, it was through doing that I just piled it, you know, the pressure on myself and stressed beyond belief. You know, I was flying to and from LA for the entire year. I'm terrified of flying. That never helps. You know?
Gosh.
So, you know, it was. I'm not saying it was all doom and gloom. I was having a great time. It was. You know, it was tough. When you leave a major label, doors start to close in your face. You know, and it was kind of swimming against the tide a little bit. But you know, through getting myself clean, getting, you know, on the theatre stage was absolutely incredible. Just, you know, a door that I never thought would be able to walk through, and you know, and I did. To be sat back here with a major label releasing the new album it's just a dream come true all over again.
Yeah, and listen, while you were writing this album, you actually took part in Memphis, and you also received an award for best debut. But it wasn't all that rosy leading up to the West End. Tell me about your experience with is it Lord Andrew Lloyd Webber now? Yeah,
he is a Lord. What that was a classic case of just a catalogue of errors. I mean, I was told by my agent, don't learn the song, they don't want to hear that, and then when I get in the room, all they want to hear is a song. And in a room that contains Lord Andrew Lloyd Webber, what any sensible person would have done, I'm not sensible. I should have said, look, I mean, there's been a gross misunderstanding here. I'm so sorry. I was told not to learn the song, so I don't actually know it. And then see where we go from there. I chose to just sing a song that I didn't know very loudly and very fast, and I ended up sounding like that crazy guy off the police academy, like, oh, I can't even do it. It was horrendous. But Andrew, and rightly so, he just got up and walked out. I mean, I basically put his beautiful song in a food processor and just gone in front of his face, bless him. So he was like, I'm not listening to any more of this.
Well, Matt, thank goodness you've gotten to right that wrong. Maybe not with Andrew Lloyd Webber, but you have on the West End. And back to the album for a sec, because what I love about your time in
X Factor is that
your friendship with Danny Minogue. I don't know how deep it runs, but I do know that she's constantly supporting you because anytime you have...
She's been there, honestly, like she took, the role of mentor seriously. I think more serious than any other judge that year or any other time, if I'm honest. Danny really cared, and we could tell from the word go. And obviously, if two people get on, then they'll stay in touch as well. But not only did we get on so well, but she was my mentor, and she's been there, in the entire time, showing support, flying the flag, and I can't thank her enough for that.
Well, she's celebrating the fact that Time to Be Alive is going to be out on the 27th of April, as are we. Does this mean, Matt, that you're hitting the road, about to do a tour for us?
We will be. We absolutely will be.
Well, I'm going to put it out there. We're seeing you here in Dublin soon, and we're looking forward to it, Matt.
Yeah, thank you so much.